Well, Australia is part of the British Commonwealth, so yeah, I guess the name still fits. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. For the first time, Crown Jewel will not take place in Saudi Arabia, or for that matter, any kingdom. The former penal colony turned tourist attraction hosted second PLE in Perth, after a successful, if not very sweaty, elimination chamber before. Sadly, the one thing, or rather two things, not changed: those gaudy Crown Jewel championship belts. You know, the ones with the faceplate that reaches from the nipples to the scrotum? The ones only worn once or twice a piece before being replaced by an equally gaudy ring? Sheesh. I mean, not that the matches themselves are wastes. Seeing who among the primary men's and women's champions are better? It's one thing I miss about Survivor Series. Besides, actual Survivor Series matches. Add in a street fight, a women's tag match, and a battle of the aged, and this might not be too bad a card. So set the Betty Grable for the Barbie. Time for an Aussie cookout. Here are my predictions for Crown Jewel 2025. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. Why do I sense a bit of Stockholm Syndrome in the former pirate princess? She obviously doesn't want to do what Asuka wants her to do to Sky, but she feels like she's Asuka's only supporter now. What's going to happen when they try for the women's tag titles and fail? Will the Empress go all tyrannical dictator on the scene? Meanwhile, Ripley is trying to get Sky to forget her friendship with Asuka and Sane and focus on teaching them a lesson. It's another classic slap-together team versus veteran team, and guess who wins in most of them? Winners are Ripley and Sky. Australian street fight, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Why not Outback Fighter of Life? Make it sound more authentically Aussie. Oh well. I guess there are two things to say to the only tribal chief won. First, welcome back, and second, seems you didn't learn your lesson. Even if you have Jey Uso out there with you, there's no stopping Braun Breaker from, well, breaking him. And you think Jimmy will back you up? He's wondering why you're molding Jey into the next tribal chief and leaving Jimmy in the dust. Not to mention that Seth Rollins or even Becky Lynch might come in to complicate things. Face it, Reigns, you're outnumbered. Go back to film Street Fighter the movie after you barely survived the real thing. Winner, Bronson Reed. John Cena versus AJ Styles. So the retirement baton will be passed on tonight, regardless of the outcome. This will be Cena's next to last appearance, and Styles has proclaimed he means to retire next year, though maybe not such a big deal about it as Cena did. Truth be told, I wish that Brock Lesnar had finished the job on Cena in Clash in Paris. This whole retirement tour has been one fiasco after another. The promise to headline WrestleMania, the failed heel turn, and now the clobbering by Lesnar. Styles is going to retire with quiet dignity and grace, just as soon as he puts on a clinic for Mr. Thugonomics. I think Cena's last win will be in his last match in December. They'll probably hug it out afterwards, but the victory will be phenomenal. Winner, AJ Styles. Women's Crown Jewel Championship. World Champ Stephanie Vaquer versus WWE Champ Tiffany Stratton. No telling if either of them will have anybody in the back to run interference for them, but given they're both faces, I don't think they want anyone to interfere. Both these ladies made names for themselves in NXT, though Stratton's was a longer hitch than Vaquer's. Vaquer is essentially a Rhea Ripley ripoff, while Stratton is, well, a Chelsea Green ripoff, really, or at least she was during her NXT run. Now she's a bit more like Hugger Bailey, I think. But the bottom line is they're both skilled enough to give each other a run for that fugly belt. However, Valkyria has a mean streak about her that Stratton can't really get around. Don't forget to set your Tiffy timers 12 hours ahead, because her time is up. Winner, Stephanie Valkyria. Finally, Men's Crown Jewel Championship. WWE Champ and defending CJC Champ Cody Rhodes versus World Champ Seth frickin' Rollins. A rivalry revisited. Ain't it just peachy? Short answer? Well, no, not really. We had all but forgotten when Rhodes came back to the company he tried to kill at WrestleMania 38, and we keep trying to forget the match with Cody fighting with a torn pec. And they keep going on and on about how Rollins is over 3 against Rhodes since the Nightmare's return. Doesn't it sound like a setup to you? Also, remember that Rollins will still have the Bronze and Paul Heyman, and again Lynch possibly, to make it very difficult for the Visionary to lose, even if Randy Orton shows up. Add to that the fact that Rollins doesn't want to lose Heyman to Reigns, and you pretty much know the drill. No second ring for you, Rhodes. Now get back to finding opponents for your not undisputed title. Winner, Seth frickin' Rollins. Those are my picks. If any more matches drop on SmackDown, I'll give those picks in the comments. I'm Chris Wolvie with the Wrestling Blog, who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace. And I'll see you.